Okay, guys, we're back today. Any questions about the stuff that we went over? I'm almost positive, all of y'all used those things on the hyperkeys, right? Yeah.
I tried.
Oh, well, that's good. That's good enough, as long as you try.
No, I...
Huh?
Why?
Guys, you have to use this stuff. Have to. You had a whole week to mess with it, okay? And you know, the whole reason that we do this is so that you can get ahead, okay? That's the whole reason that we you know, that I only give you so much of the class. I mean, I can overload you, we can get through this class quick and start doing other stuff, but I mean, for what? If you don't get it down, it's not gonna help you. So if you don't do what I'm telling you to do, you just get behind, I guess. You know, I can only tell you what to do. I can't make you do it. So it is what it is. So hopefully you used it. If you didn't, whatever. So for those of you that did, how was it?
Hard.
Guys, it's going to be, in the beginning, it's going to be hard. And the hardest thing is the movements. The J, K, L, and I. You have to learn those. Have to. Must. Must. Okay? So what's J?
Left.
Left. What's L?
Right.
I?
Up.
K?
Down.
Okay. And it's one word. Okay? So what if you want to move over one character?
You have to push the N. And down.
Oh, I'm sorry, what?
That's what I did.
Okay, how do you do it the right way?
Capital. What's the question? I'm sorry.
Shift. So left one character is shift J. Right one character is shift K. I mean
Shift
L. I'm sorry. Right? Yeah. J, K, L, I. Okay? The more you use it, the more it's going to help you. Trust me. Trust me with this. Use that thing. So hopefully this weekend you're going to practice. Practice on a speed drill, okay? And then go back and then just start messing with these things. Just start messing with it. You're not going to mess it up because it's a practice thing anyway. So it doesn't really matter if you mess it up, okay? So mess with it. The word endings, fabulous. The shaving one letter, the S for shave, one letter, the cap on the A, great. The delete, excellent. The word endings is phenomenal, okay? But the money, time, question, period at the end of the sentence, you know, you can do all of this stuff without having to move. You don't even have to move that much. Yeah.
So when I was editing the testimony, I forgot to hit one of the banks, so I had question. How do you insert another, like an answer in between there? Because I couldn't figure out how to do that.
Okay, pay attention, guys. Excellent question. We haven't gotten there yet, but excellent question. And it's happened a couple of times on the Tuesday Q&A class, okay? Write this down. F3 is question. So when you want to get somewhere, check it out. You're in hyperkeys because what? This thing is depressed. Remember? Kind of sad. Fat. Height. Got it? Check it out. Pay attention. All eyes up here, guys. F3, question. How? Look what it just did. F4, how? Answered. So what you want to do is if the answer starts right there, you want to have your prompt right there. You don't want to have it right there. Because guess what's going to happen? See what it did? So you don't want to do that. You want to be on the word. You want to be on the word that starts that answer or question. Okay? F3 is what? F4?
Answer.
Answer. How do you get into hyperkeys? Alt Z.
You get it, Alt Z and get out or
How do you get out?
in. Alt Z again
Or in. Very good. So see how I messed with that thing? And I had hit question answer a couple of times and done some other stuff in the middle of the word. Well, I started pressing Z and it corrected the one thing, but it wouldn't take my question answer back. So once you start doing multiple things, sometimes it'll fix it, sometimes it won't because you've gone too far. Okay? But if you do it in the lesson, it's not that big of a deal. Did you just see what I did? Get out of the lesson, go down to install lesson player, and I was in hyperkeys. Go down to hyperkeys, press on it, okay, go back into lesson player, put into the lesson, and it's all brand new. Like I never touched it. Okay? Any questions? Excellent. Okay, this is kind of important too. You want to make sure that you're in insert mode, INS. Okay? I'm going to show you why. They're going to talk about it right now. There's an insert and there's an overtype mode. Okay? And they're going to talk about it right now.
Let's see how insert mode and overtype mode affects typing in text. Here insert mode is on, and the indicators are that the toolbar icon looks pushed in. There's also an INS visible on the status bar at the bottom of the screen. When I begin typing, the new letters get inserted in front of the old ones. When I press the Enter key, that chops off the rest of the word that I was replacing.
You see what it did right there? So when you're in insert mode, you can start typing right there. Push enter, brings you back into hyperkeys, fat, depressed, hype. Press it again, and it's going to delete that word. It chops that word off. Okay? That's what they were just telling me.
Here, overtype mode is on, which you can tell because there's an OVR visible on the status line at the bottom of the screen, and because the toolbar icon does not look pushed in. When I start typing to replace this word, each letter overtypes the one that's there, and then the new letters push on as necessary.
See what it did?
Let's see how insert mode and overtype mode affects typing, which you can tell because there's an OVR visible on the status line at the bottom of the screen, and because the toolbar icon does not look pushed in. When I start typing to replace this word, each letter overtypes the one that's there, and then the new letters push on as necessary.
So you see what it's doing? It's overtyping the word right in front of it. Okay? And that's what it's going to do. So be very careful with that because it's good and it's bad. Okay? So say you had this statement right there. What is there about that statement that maybe you had to put you had disagreed with? And now you need to put had right here. But you're in overtype mode, so you need to put it right here. So you go into what? To type. in for insert, and you start typing had, well, guess what? This word starts going away. But you need that word. Okay? So you don't need to be in overtype mode. You need to be in insert mode. So you're going to need to be in insert mode, I'd say 99% of the time. I would. I don't know that if I was in overtime mode, it was on accident. You know, so which is not that big of a deal. You can go in and out of it. It's not that big of a deal, and it's on there's an insert key. Yeah, right above backspace. Up here on your number thing, right above backspace, y'all see that? There's an insert key. Yes.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
See it?
Yes.
No?
No.
Above the numbers? Backspace? Right in this region? Is there an insert up there?
Oh, yeah, sorry, yes.
Yeah.
I was looking
Right
for
up on the right-hand side where it says backspace,
With the keyboard.
there should be an insert mode, an insert key. Everybody see it?
Yes, yes.
Does anyone not? Is he drunk?
This is different. I don't see it.
Up here. Yeah.
First page, 2019, line 220. Oh, sorry, next page. Page 5.
Yeah.
Let me know when that thing comes in about 4 days. Ish. Okay? So that's how you get in and out of it, guys. It's that easy. Insert key.
Me too.
Or it's going to be INS. Okay?
And it really,
Insert.
Oh.
Yeah. Insert. 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 Got it?
Yeah. Do we? I just did it. Well, mine has
Let's see how insert.
Okay. So this is your turn little mode thing. Okay? So you can do it right here. So as you can tell, I'm in
Hyper key.
hyper keys. Sad, depressed, hype, insert. Got it? Okay, check it out. So now I want to type, so what's this new, but I want to keep program. So what do? Hit the space. Now press enter. Now you're back in. What would have happened had I been here and pressed enter?
Program disappears.
It would have gone into hyperkeys, enter again, and it deletes program now. Okay? Be real careful with that when you're inserting. If you want to keep the word in front of it, space, enter, gets you back in. You don't have to push the Alt-Z again. All you have to do is push enter, and it should put you back into hyperkeys. I'm sorry?
I had an issue with one of my testimony tests, and I tried to insert like an address, number
Yeah.
address. Every time I kept pushing the number, I was in hyperspeed, but every time I kept pushing the number, it was
Okay. Another good question, or statement, or sentence, whatever. Guys, when you're doing stuff, you have to be careful. Always look over here in the auto magic keys or auto magic commands, okay? Because more than likely, if you're trying to do a word, it's not that big of a deal. When you push in and you just start typing, it'll usually start typing. When you push in and you try to do numbers, now it's going to do commands. It's still thinking you want to do commands, okay? So in that little box, there's like a little, it looks like a little sun, I think, or something, and it says insert. Hit that number for insert, and then it will allow you to start putting in numbers. Okay? I don't know if, let me see if, okay guys, right here. So see how it's right here and it's giving you stuff? This little thing right here says type text. That's what you're looking for. So say I'm right here, I push in, and I want to do a number. Now I want to do number 2. Now see it says, I want to do 3, where it says delete. Where it says delete a word. So 3. Oh, should have did it. Whoops. Sometimes it won't. When it does not, don't freak out. It deleted a character, it went to a different paragraph, whatever. What's the oops? Z. Z is the oops. Okay? So make sure you're in hyperkeys, do the Z, and it should take you back to the place. Now push the N. You know what it's going to do. You wanted to push the 3, it deleted your word. Don't freak out. Now you need to go to the enter text. Now it's not doing it. Anyway, it was that thing that I showed you. It said insert text, push whatever number it is, then you can start typing numbers. Okay? So always look for that insert text if it does something weird. Don't freak out. Go back into hyperkeys or delete wherever you are. If it took you into a, fill in a block file or something like that, don't freak out. Get out of that, exit out, go into hyperkeys, push Z, should take you back. Get back where you need to be. Push in, insert text, whichever number it is, then just go on. Okay? That's why, guys, pay attention. That's why I want you to use this. So that when you make mistakes, it's like, sir, it did, well, you have to do, oh, okay, yeah, that's right. You're going to do it on a test that may cost you a test because you messed it up and you don't remember how to get out of it. And you're going to ask the instructor who doesn't know anything about Eclipse, hey, how do I get this thing back? And how do I insert text? Yeah, I don't know. That's why. That's why I want you to mess with this stuff. Okay? Trust me. There's method behind the mayhem. Trust me. Okay? Just do it. And you want to do it while you're practicing so that you know how to do it when it comes to the test. Okay? Okay, now what they're trying to tell you, and check this out, this is pretty neat, okay? Now let's say you went through this transcript and you had the person's name wrong, okay? No big deal, okay? So say it was Mr. Program, okay? And that's what they're telling you to do. Well, guess what? Now, every time I put program, it needs to be system, okay? So I'm in hyperkeys, which is what? What is it? Alt Z, okay? So I'm in hyperkeys, and I want to put system. Pay attention, guys, right up here, real quick. Check it out. Push in for insert, SYSTEM, enter, gets me back into hyperkeys, enter again, chops off program. Got it?
Yes. Yes.
That's splitting the atom, okay? Check it out. Guys, pay attention, check it out. So now you come down to program again, and now it's like, you know what? I need to change it to system. So press N, look what it does. It automatically remembers that you wrote system last time. So now all you have to do is hit enter to get it back in, enter again, chops it off. So it remembers what you did. Remember when I told you the first day of class, the more you use this, the more it remembers what you're doing. What you're doing. Not your neighbor. Your neighbor did something else, it's not going to do it on your computer because your neighbor did it on hers. Okay? You have to do it on your computer. And that's why I want you to mess with it. Because the more you use it, the more it's going to remember what you're doing. Be careful with that. Be careful with that. Okay? Because now every time you go to put in program, let's see if it'll do it the other way. No, it doesn't. So now every time we're going to do it, we're going to put program. So we're in hyperkeys, which is what? Alt Z. Insert is what? N. So program, enter, enter, chops it off. Okay? So now you go again, now it remembers. Okay? So it's that easy. It's that easy. Okay?
Does it have to be the same word? So it has to be the same word for it to come up program.
On system, you know, if you're changing system every time, it's going to remember program. That's all it's going to remember. Okay?
Gotcha.
But if you change it again, let's just say, we'll escape out of that one. So on this one, we don't need it to say program anymore. From here on out, where it says system, we need it to say schedule. So hyperkeys is what? Insert is what? Okay. Now we're in insert. We don't want that. We don't want that word. Well, guess what? You don't have to freak out. Look what it does. Guys, pay attention right here. Pretty important again. So now you don't need it to say program. You need it to say schedule. So check it out. You don't do anything. You just start typing S-C-H-E-D-U-L-E. Now I need it to say that. Enter. Gets me back into what?
Hyperkey.
Hyperkeys. Enter again. Takes it off. So because it put program there, don't freak out and say, oh, I don't need program. Well, so what? Start typing. No big deal. Okay? So you don't have to put that word just because it put it in there. It's putting it in there because it said last time, this is what you needed. Okay. You know, and a lot of times, and it works real good with like he and she. Okay? And for some reason, you know, sometimes I just forget, or maybe I drag my finger not enough on the she, and it put he. So I've already put it in there where I put enter S, and it automatically puts it in there. Let's see if it's in here. Well, I'll put it in here. Okay? So now we're in hyperkeys, which is what? Alt Z. Insert is what? Okay. So now I wanted to say, you know what? They were talking about this lady, and every time I did it, I put he. No big deal. Check it out. How do I get to insert? N. So I needed to say she. Enter. That's all you do. Just once. One time. Did you get that? Okay. Check it out. Now I come down here. Now I want to do it again. I'm in hyperkeys, which is what? Enter is what? N. Look what it did. It remembered. Don't push enter twice, because what's it going to do? It's going to delete the he. Now you're only going to have S. So now you press enter, it remembers, and you just keep on going. No big deal. That is really good on stuff like that. Okay? Any questions? Yeah.
So let's say I'm writing a transcript and I write a name, but because it's a name that's not in my dictionary, it comes out a different word that I know it's not anywhere else in there. How do I change it so that, like, can I change it so instead of having to go through and change every word that came out, I can change it once and it changes it through the whole transcript?
Yeah. Okay. We're getting a little ahead of ourselves, but I'm going to show you how to do it. Okay? It's not going to do it right here because we don't have any steno to go with it. But if you stroked it correctly every time, I'm going to show you how to global it to where it globals it throughout the whole document. Does that make sense? Okay. So let's just say it was this. Okay? And let's just say this was Mr. Krzyzewski. Doggone, I typed it wrong. And I typed it wrong throughout the whole thing. Okay? It was supposed to be T-H-E instead of T-H-I-S. And I messed it up. Okay? Check it out. Control, yeah, don't write this down. Control G. Whoa. Okay, let's just say it was this new. I don't know why it's coming up this new. Why it won't just do the one word, but it's not. Let's just say the name was this new and it was supposed to be this now. Okay, Mr. This Now. Whatever. Okay, so now it's supposed to be, let's just say you need to change a couple of letters, no big deal. It's supposed to be this now. You're globaling it, which is the G. Okay? G, global. Hyperkeys, G is global. Okay? Control G is global. The good thing about Control G is you can do Control G, 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 and it just keeps making global and more strokes. So if it's a 4-stroker, you just keep doing G, hold down the control and keep doing G, and it keeps marking those strokes. Okay? Make sense? On the G, on hyperkeys, only global's 1 stroke. So if you need more than one, now you got to do Control G and keep doing Control G. Okay? Does that make sense?
So if you just write chef, you only have to put G. If it's chef, with 2 strokes, you have to do control.
You're going to have to do G and then Control G. So if you're in hyperkeys and you just, oh yeah, G was global, yeah, G. Oh man, how do I do, it was 2 strokes. Don't freak out, Control G. Okay? Or just do Control G twice and it'll mark it, it marks it too. Okay? But let's just say you did it and instead of Mr. Krzyzewski, you just did Mr. Chef one time. You don't have to do the Mr. You just do the chef. Okay? Get on chef, global it, which is what?
Control G.
Or G. And then global it. Okay? And now it's going to tell you, do you want this in your main? No. Because it's a proper name. I wouldn't put it in there if I was putting a brief for something. I wouldn't put it in there. Be real careful about what you put in your main. What you want to put in your main is good strokes for words, not good strokes for proper names. Okay? Now you can do, you know, proper strokes for proper names too. So if you wrote out Garza, help yourself, whatever, okay? If you wrote it out, good. Is it going to conflict with anything else? Garza, no. Put it in your dictionary. I don't know that I would stroke that out every time. It's not an easy stroke, the Z and the A, and I don't know. It's just easier for me to do gars, or do gars, however you want to do it. Smarter, not harder, okay? So now it asks you, do you want to put it in your main? No. So now you do Control J for a job dictionary. Control J, and now it should have done it, but it doesn't because it's not part of the text, okay? But that's how you do it. It's global, okay? Any questions about that? Yeah.
Just to kind of reiterate what you were saying is if you want to change one word that appears throughout the document several times with another word, you hit Control G, but you have to highlight the word first, Control G,
Yeah.
then make the word that you want, and then press enter, or of course pick your dictionary, and then press enter, and it'll change it everywhere.
Yeah,
throughout the
it
document
should.
with that word.
Yeah. Guys, be real careful with that. Because now when you start changing words like the, that, at, and you want to change it, well, I want to global it right here. Well, guess what? It's going to global it throughout that whole thing. Now every time you had at, where it was supposed to be at, now it has that. Because you globaled it throughout the whole document. Now you changed the whole doggone thing. So be very careful with that. Be very careful with globaling, because global is going to global it throughout the whole document. Okay? If you want to just change it, and that's the only place you want to change it, it's not that big of a deal. You push in for insert, type it in, go on about your business. Not that big of a deal. But if you want to global it throughout the whole document, that's when you global it. Okay? Does that make sense? May not have said that the best way, but what is? You in the front. One more time?
Like on the Word document, you could, if you want to change everything, like it gives you a preview of it, so it takes you to the spot. Does it do it here before?
No, it just changes it. Now it just changed it. It doesn't go down and say, oh, here's the, you want to do it here too? Yeah. Oh, here's the, you want to change it here too? Guys, it just changes it. Okay? It doesn't take it every time, Krzyzewski. There is a way to do it, and that's the find, which is what? F. In hyperkeys is find. So if you come here and you do F, that's find. Okay? That will do it. Okay, now I want to find the, or the. I want to find the, okay? Boom, now it goes there. Do you want to change it there? No, not there. Okay, so what's the next one to take it to the next? I know, it kind of doesn't coincide with what it's doing, but Control L. Control L takes you to the next the. Do you want to change it there? Oh, there I want to change it. So sometimes you'll need to change things, sometimes you won't. This is where you need to find it. And that's what? F in hyperkeys for find. Okay? That's where it'll do it. The globaling is not what you want to do unless you want to change all of them, and you know you want to change all of them. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Any questions? Okay, they're going to tell you about my mouse and key commands. Guys, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this because you'll see It's pretty self-explanatory, okay?
Let's see how you can use either the mouse or keyboard commands for just about any function within Total Eclipse. The left mouse button is typically used to click or select, while the right mouse button is used for context menus. You might left-click on a menu to select an item, or left-click on a toolbar icon, or simply click to reposition your cursor. Right-clicking will open a context menu, which will offer different choices according to where your cursor is placed. However, there's no need to constantly reach for the mouse. You can use keyboard methods for things like accessing the menu bar by simply pressing F10, or by pressing the Alt key and releasing, then pressing an underlined letter, such as H for help. Every Eclipse menu or dialog has hotkeys, underlined letters that serve as an alternative to using the mouse. However, if you can type in a dialog, then you must press Alt to use a hotkey. If the underlined letters are not displayed on your computer, you can open the Windows Control Panel and go to the Ease of Access Center. There you should see how to make the keyboard easier to use. This is where you'll find the option to underline keyboard shortcuts and access keys. With a check in that box, I'll click on OK. Hotkeys are underlined letters on menus or dialogues, but there are also speed keys, which bypass the menu.
I will stop it. The hotkeys, the next time I use them will be the first time I use them. Not that big of a deal. They're really not. The speed keys, absolutely. Absolutely going to use them, okay? The hotkeys, not very much, because all it's going to do is give you that. It's kind of confusing to me. You know, it's easier for me just to get the mouse, go up there, do it, not that big of a deal, okay? With these, it's going to be a lot easier than going in these different little menus, dropping down, trying to find it, whatever. What you need to do is start using it and remembering what it does. And that's all it is, okay? And it'll get easier. But you don't have to worry about it because most of the time it's going to have these options in your Auto Magic, okay? So you really don't have to, but it's always going to have it, and then it's going to give you what the command is. So you can push the number, okay, it was for settings, or just remember the speed key. This way you don't have to keep going to it. Does that make sense?
This entirely. For example, Alt-T to translate and Shift-Alt-T to stop translation. Many people memorize these speed keys for the functions they use the most. Finally, there are Eclipse hyperkeys, which are more efficient than using a mouse or speed keys. Plus, there are the editing suggestions offered by Auto Magic. These are covered in other visualizers, whose goal is to help you edit with the greatest speed and efficiency.
Got it? Thought so.
If you're a mouse lover, you'll appreciate the many icons that are built into Total Eclipse. So let's see how to arrange the toolbars to meet your needs. You can pull down the window menu to customize your toolbars. You can select large icons or small icons, but we'll show you how to do this in a separate visualizer. For now, let's open the dialog that lets you toggle on or off the various elements of your display. The speed key for this dialog is Shift-Control F3. Here you'll find checkboxes to turn on the various toolbars of your system, and there's also a fast way to turn off all the toolbars if you want to make a little extra space. The speed key for turn off all toolbars is Shift-Control F2. The View Toggles dialog is also where you control the appearance of the info bar. This is the display column at the left edge of the Eclipse screen.
I think we've gone into this too.
Yeah.
Most of you guys were here. Does anyone not remember this video? They're playing it again. So that's why I really wasn't gonna stop. But if you haven't and you weren't here, you need to go into this. When the windows, was anybody not here? You weren't? Go into Windows, view toggles. Should bring up this thing right here. You should have the info bar checked. You should have number 1 checked. Auto Magic. Use numbers. Okay? And the note bar. The note should also be.
I have the ruler bar.
Me too.
No, you need the note bar, not the ruler bar.
So uncheck ruler bar? Or
Yeah,
just-
I don't know that you need the ruler bar. Got it?
Info, 1, auto magic, use numbers.
So 1, info, auto magic, use numbers, status bar, note bar.
Well, yeah, I did.
You know, I think you need the document tab bar too. And the paragraph bar.
And
Yeah,
then you can hit close and it'll keep
yeah.
the setting.
Well, you have to hit, yeah, close. Don't just come over here because it's not going to save anything, okay? Go to close. Got it?
Here is where automagic choices appear most typically. So as you move your cursor from word to word, Eclipse offers you the most likely editing choices. You can, however, also display automagic choices in a small pop-up window. We'll show that in a separate visualizer. Also, the visualizer that is specifically about the info bar will show you how there you can see translation statistics in real time, as well as an audio indicator and autobrief suggestions to make it easier to write.
Got it? Yes.
Yes.
No.
No.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, with these things, little R, now it's the your turn little deal, you know. So you can go through there and use them. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on them because you can go through there and use them yourself, okay? But what these little things do is these are conflicts, okay? So let's just say you write there, there, and there the same. God help you if you do. But let's just say you do, okay? And you have a conflict right there. All you have to do is get on there. Which one is the right one? Number 1? So all you do is push number 1 and it puts it in there. Okay? That's all you have to do.
I'm sorry, what'd you
So
do?
the different colors,
Number 1 or push
yeah,
enter?
get on it. Get on the very first thing of it and then just push 1 and it should do the right
Number
one.
1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just number 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
And hyperkey didn't work.
It doesn't matter if you're in high. I mean, I guess it
Yeah, it does.
it probably shouldn't matter, but
Because I hit the one and it just typed it in.
if you were in insert mode,
I went down to
was this? So push Z. Get into hyper keys and do Z.
yeah, I just typed the one.
Okay, let me try it. I'm in insert mode. Let me do 1. Yeah, see, it just does 1. So now I'm in hyper keys, which is what? Alt Z. So now I'm in hyper keys right there. I do 1. Whoa,
Yeah, that's it.
Don't freak out.
whoa.
Just one day.
1. There. Press 1. One day, someone's not going to get smacked. and it goes in there, okay? So if you're one character over, it may not do it, and it may just do what I did right there, okay? So don't freak out.
Question.
Yeah.
Like on that example, it lists the 3 theirs. They're giving us the choice so we know to press 1. But if you're doing your own paper, is it going to list all 3 choices or you know to press?
You have to create that. You have to create that conflict. So if it's something that you write the same, which you shouldn't, because we pretty much teach you to write conflict free. But let's just say you do, and you write it's and it's the same. The contraction and ITS, the same, the word. Okay. You shouldn't, but let's just say you do. You can create a conflict, just like that. And you can put ITS / IT apostrophe S. Does that make sense to everyone? That's why you would do that. But you have to create that conflict. And I'll teach you how to do that. We're not going to spend a whole lot of time on that because
You're supposed to write conflict.
you should be. But I'm going to teach you how to do it anyway. Okay? And we've already done this one too. So you can come down here. Just come right in here somewhere. Is everybody there? And do E. As in eclipse. Does it go in there? It should go in there. And then type your name in all caps.
Yes.
We did this.
Yeah. Well, if you did, great. If you didn't, you weren't here. It was in the other, yeah, it was in the first lesson. Okay? So for those of you that weren't here, that's how you do it. In HyperKeys is E for enter a fill in the blank field. Okay? And then type your name, push enter, and it should take you down to the next fill in the blank, does it?
Yes.
And then you just keep filling in the blanks. Got it?
Yes.
Any questions about that? The other thing that I taught you was remember the X marks the spot? Everybody?
Yes.
What was it?
Marks just
Treasure.
Pirate. Buccaneer. What marks the spot? Shift X. The large X marks the spot. So let's get right here. Let's get up here for example. For example, let's get up here. Right there for example. Okay? And do Shift X. See how it did that little thing? Okay? Now do Alt G. 1. Enter. It's going to take you to the top of the page. Okay, well I wanted to see, yeah, it does say HyperKeys. Yeah, I remember that. It says HyperKeys. Okay, well now I want to go back to the place that I just marked. How do I do that? No. Control V.
Control V.
No?
Don't freak out.
Don't freak out.
Yes.
No.
Mine
Don't
didn't
freak
go
out. Okay, freak out.
X did not mark the spot.
I think it's Alt V. No, it's Shift V. It's Shift V. It wasn't Control. I'm sorry, guys.
Shift V.
That's what I said.
What does V have
Shift
to do with
V.
anything that jumps to the spot?
I'm sorry?
What does V have to do with anything that jumps to the spot? You know how you said like
Vamos para
Different
atrás.
names.
Yes, it was for vamos to the X. It's vo back. Vo back to the place that you marked. They try to do it to where the letters coincide to what you're doing, and sometimes it doesn't. Okay? So it's like when you copy something. What is it? It's Control C. Control C is copy. You can mark something, Control C, copy. Now it's Control V is vlan it. Plan it in there, vlan it. But the V is silent. I don't know. I don't know why it's V. I don't, why is O print?
For output.
They say for output, but it has just been easier to do, huh?
Shift X and then what, David?
Shift X and then Shift V.
Shift V, and it takes you.
Back. So let's try it again. All right. So I'm going to go down to the bottom and say I'm right here at lesson player. I'm going to do Shift X or not in hyperkeys. Shift X. See how it just did that? Now do Alt G 1. Takes me to the top. Oh yeah, it does say hyperkeys. Okay. Well, I want to go back to that spot that I just marked. Shift V. Takes me exactly back to where it was. What's that?
Vamos.
Vamos to the X. I don't know. I don't know what the V is.
Shift X first.
What are they? I don't know. Shift X. X marks the spot. X marks it. In hyperkeys. Shift X. If you do Shift X and insert, what's it going to do?
Put an X right there.
It's going to put a capital X, which is what, if you want to do that, then yeah, great. But if you don't, X marks the spot in hyperkeys. So it's Shift X marks it. Okay? You can go wherever you want to go, and then Shift V, vamos para atrás, get you back. Got it?
Alt G.
Alt G is go to page. Alt G is go to page. Right here. Alt G, go to. So really you can even do a certain line. Say you want to go to page 4, line 4. What are they? See how I did that? So you can even go to a specific spot that you're looking for. So you don't, I mean, say you wanted to go to, there's 25 lines, you wanted to go to line 13. Well, it's on page 4. So now you have to go to the top, and now you got to arrow down. Well, if you know which line it's on, all you do is put the line 2. Put the page, put the line. Got it? That's splitting the atom. Any questions about that lesson? Hyperkeys. Guys, when you get a chance, go through it again. Go through that hyperkeys again and use these things. I gave you a sheet tonight that has all of the hyperkeys on there. Go through there. Mess with it. Just mess with it. Did anyone not get one?
I'll take another one.
Did anyone come in late besides Susanna and not get one? Okay. Any questions about hyperkeys? You in the back.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah.
So, I love this, thank you, and I get the concept of using a lowercase versus a shift
Pay attention, guys.
to give a command.
Yeah.
Is there an easy way to remember what the difference is between using Shift G and Control or Alt? Does Control and Alt mean something that will help me remember?
The thing about hyperkeys is the letters that you use, it's going to be small letters. So that's going to be the command that you use the most. The shift, which is the capitalized letter, is going to be the one that you don't use the most. So like M is what? Mark. So let's say you want to mark something. You're going to mark something more then you're going to exchange it into Shift M changes it into money. Okay? Mark means like highlight. Like you're gonna mark that. Like say you like left click. We'll use it like a word process. Like if you left click and then drag it down and it marks that whole thing, that's what mark is. Okay, check it out. No. See, like right here, and say you wanna delete all of this stuff right here. Okay? M, whoops, don't freak out. Hyper key, thank you, my lovely assistant. M marks it, and then just arrow down, and then arrow over, and it marks that whole stop. So that's what mark is. Yeah, so a highlight, a mark, it marks it.
Just select that area.
Yeah. Except it's M for mark, not V for vamos. Not V for vada.
So that's S for select?
No.
How do you get out of mark?
How do you what?
Get out of mark?
Just escape.
Oh,
Just escape.
is that the same for most all of them? Just escape to
Yeah.
get out of it?
Yeah.
So before you were talking about mark, we were talking about shift, control, alt. What about control and alt? Like shift, I get like you use it less frequently
Yeah.
than the lowercase letters, but when are you generally using control and alt?
There's not a, and that's a good question. She was asking, when would you use Control and Alt? You just do. There's certain commands that you do. There's just certain commands that you do. Check it out, guys. I'm going to teach you something neat. That's in the Alt. Okay? So say you're right here, and somebody says, okay, there's no need to memorize the hyperkeys chart. Oh, shoot. Well, I didn't put OK. Okay, well, let's do Alt 1, or not. Or not. It's not doing it. Damn. Don't freak out.
Freak out.
Freak out. What's that?
Freaking out.
Yes.
Freaking out.
Yeah.
Sensuous. Okay, guys, pay attention right here. Up here real quick. I don't know why it's not doing it in the lesson. I don't know why. And I was doing it right, but I don't know why. So let's just say they said all right instead of okay right here. Okay, check it out. Press D for delete, D for delete. Now it brings you right there. Now do Alt 2. Alt 1 is okay. Alt 2 is all right. Alt 3 is comma, comma. It's pretty cool. Try it. It may not do it in your lesson. I don't know why it's not doing it in your lesson.
It was okay, all right, and what was the third one?
Alt 1 is okay. Alt 2 is all right. And Alt 3 is So check it out right here. So they already have right here. Okay? Let's just say that I didn't have it right there. And I needed, and do you know how long that course is? Do you see the difference there? The difference is, and do you know how long the course is? Or, and do you know how long the course is? You see how punctuating that different makes it different? And you can take a sentence and punctuate it 3 different ways, and it has 3 different meanings. So you have to be careful with punctuation and doing your test. So do it now in school before you get out. So practice it now. Practice doing it right now. Practice doing it correct now, or right now. Now. Right. Now. Don't freak out. Okay? But let's just say they were saying, and do you know how long, you know, so they're using the you know. So now you do Alt 3. See how they do it? It puts the period, it puts the commas in there already, and it puts the you know in there. Because people use it a ton. And I tell you what, if you don't have a brief for you know, you better, or you should.
Okay, so what was the
Christ
step
Almighty,
six?
it's on this sheet. What?
What was the step again to get that little window up?
What window?
The little one where you had your choices, the one that just went away.
You don't need to worry about that. That's a pop-up that I use.
Oh.
Okay? Right now, you're not going to need that. It's the same thing as over here, but it's just a small one that comes up. So every time you move your cursor, see, it puts it right there. So I don't have to take my eyes over here and look for something. It just keeps it right there. This is when you're going really fast. You know? That's more for that. And really, when you go to, if you come to Windows, View Toggles, it's the pop-up. I don't know that I would use that if I were y'all just yet. Okay? Get to learn this first. Then you can graduate to that. Any questions? That's it for tonight. No, I'm just kidding. That's you, Moxie.
We're all like,
We're done.
Okay, I got a little ahead of what we were doing, but any questions about that? Any questions about hyperkeys, the thing that we just went over? No? Yeah.
The insert and is it override? We're going to do more of the insert even if the override. So we really need to.
I'm sorry?
The insert and override thing,
Yeah,
we're going to do more inserting than.
override. I would. I would. Because a lot of times you want that word to stay there, and it's right in front of the word. Like say they were saying, reaching for arrow keys slows you, and you're right here on down, and it slows you. Well, I need to put, I'm in hyperkeys, I need to put and me. And me down. Okay? Back into hyperkeys. I'll delete those. Okay. I just changed it by hitting insert, so now I'm in override. You see that? OVR?
Yeah.
Everyone?
Yeah.
See that? Huh?
Change
Did somebody say no? I changed it. Okay, I'm not in insert mode anymore. Now I'm in override. Okay? So let's just say, you know, you get right there, you're in hyperkeys. Now you need to say reaching for arrow keys slows. It's supposed to be you. You and me down. Okay, so I need to type in you and me. Well, look what it's doing. You just got rid of down. I don't like it. I don't. Because I'm used to using it the other way. If I don't need that word, then I'm going to delete it, which is what? D. Delete it. Delete the word if you don't want it there. Okay? So it's better for me just to stay in insert mode. If you have an insert button. Some people don't. Okay? So I'm going to get out of that.
So you don't like playing with those other options because it could actually mess you up.
I'm just not used to using them. Okay? So it's easier for me just to stay in the insert mode. And maybe I could get used to using it, but maybe not. Okay, guys. Now we're going into movements. Number 3, movements. Is everyone there? Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah? All right. So J, K, L, and I. What? J is what?
Left.
J is left. K is what?
Down.
L,
Right.
I.
Up.
Okay. Use that. Use it right now. Get into hyperkeys, which is what? Alt Z. And I want you to go down about 8 lines. Put both hands on your computer like you're typing. And I want you to go down about 8 lines. Or not. Just sit there. Whatever you want to do. Still? Okay. Well, look on hers or whatever. Act like you're doing something. I don't know. Okay? Did you do it?
Yeah.
Using the K?
Yes.
Not the arrows, guys. Do not use those arrows.
Oh.
Huh? Seriously? No. Put both hands on the home key of the typing pad. Got it?
Yes.
Do what I'm telling you to do. Okay? Pay attention.
Don't ask questions.
Yeah. Don't freak out. So I want you to go down 3 lines. Or not. Are you good? Where you at? Get in hyperkeys. Alt Z. Go down. Go down. Just one. Okay. Go down.
3.
Okay. I want you to go right 4 words.
You don't like it? It's not.
I want you to go left 2 words. And go up 3 lines. Go right 4 words. Go down 3 sentences.
Because it's different.
Huh?
It's different.
Go down 3 lines. For those of you, never mind. Thanks. It'll be nice as king. Okay. Now pay attention because I'm going to go real fast. Do most of you have it?
Yes.
You have the hang of it?
Yes.
Okay.
It's not splitting out.
I'm going to split that hair. Okay, ready? I want you to go write 16 words. Got it? Go up. 4 lines. Not sentences, 4 lines. Jeez. Go down one. Go left 5 words. Up 5 words. Up 5 lines. Go right 5 words. 5 more. 5 more. Go up. Down. Left. Left. Right. Up. 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 Down. Left. 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 Right. Up. Up. It is. Now give me 20 push-ups. Guys, use this thing. The more you use it, I mean, the more you're going to become familiar with it, and it's just going to be second nature of moving around, and it's going to be so doggone easy. Okay? And if you do it in a transcript, pay attention to the auto magic keys as you're moving and what it's doing and the suggestions that it's giving you. Okay? And the more you use it, the more it remembers what you're doing, the more it's going to help you. Okay? Okay. Okay. Now someone was asking me this earlier. How do you go right a character and left a character? Shift. Because you're not going to do it very often. So go right 1 character. Right 1 character. Right 3 characters. Left 1 character. So now if you do Shift I, now it does it a sentence. Go up a sentence. See what it's doing? So see how it's moving a sentence? Now, it's not moving a line. And my lovely assistant over here brought that to my attention. Are we moving a sentence or a line? We're moving a line at the time. Now we're moving a sentence, okay? With Shift. So Shift moves it a sentence. And you could have a sentence that's a run-on sentence that's 3 lines. It doesn't really matter. If you do the Shift I, it's going to move it up to 3 lines to the beginning of that sentence. You see that?
Yep.
Yeah?
Yep.
All right. So that's how you move over 1 character. Or, I'll show you, and I'm not really, but if you do Control Arrow, it'll move over a character too. You shouldn't really use it, but I do. So that's why I'm telling you. You really shouldn't, but I mean, to me, it's easier than doing the Shift, move over. I just move my hands down a little bit, and now I can, you know, move over. So it is easier, okay, for me. Maybe I learned it the wrong way. I don't know. So I'm going to show you something else here too. Okay, let's say you're right here. Pay attention, guys. Say you're right here, and this sentence just ended, and it was a question. Okay? If you do Shift Question, see what it just did? It's always going to put it back. If you do the Shift Question, if you do the period, so do period right there. See how it changes it? So you can change punctuation instead of going backspace, backspace, backspace over period. space bar, cap.
How'd you do that again? I'm sorry.
Seriously? Huh?
I didn't see it, sorry.
Okay, say you're right here.
Yes.
Got it? Well, let's move down one. Say you're right here. That was the end of the sentence, but it was a question. All you have to do is shift question mark. See how it changed it? Did you see? Got it? Okay. So that's at the end of the sentence, where you're at the beginning of the next sentence. Okay? And let's just say it was a period. The end of the sentence. It wasn't a question. It was just a period. Push period automatically puts it in there. Check this out. Say it's a run-on sentence, or it's part of the other sentence and you need a comma. Do a comma. Look what it does. Automatically puts a comma, puts it together, brings it down into a small character.
So why, after the first time, we press shift? Oh, because it's a question mark.
Because it's a question mark, yeah. That's the only time you need it is for the question mark. Okay? But you can do a comma right there. Now look, say it was the end of the sentence and you put a comma and it's supposed to be a period. Pay attention. Put a period, look what it does. Push the period, space, space, cap. It already knows what to do. You don't have to do it. You don't have to recreate the wheel. Okay? It's automatically going to do it for you. Okay? Got it?
Got it.
Yes.
Okay, so we were talking about the shift key. Hyperkeys are case sensitive. Okay? They're case sensitive. The lowercase letter and the uppercase letter perform totally different functions. Okay? This gives them twice the power of other CAT system keyboard accelerators. So the keys on your computer keyboard are labeled with uppercase letters, but a capital A requires you to press A in combination with the shift key. Everybody knows that, right? Because it's a cap, okay? To avoid constant references to shift plus letter, this tutorial will use a lowercase letter to indicate a key that is pressed without the shift key. When the shift key must be pressed, this tutorial will use the uppercase letter. So it's always going to use the uppercase letter for the thing that it uses the least, because you have to do something else with it. It wants you to use the one that you're going to use the most with the lowercase, so that you don't have to move your hands off of your keyboard. Does that make sense? All right. And that's what it's telling you right there about the JKLI. So the capital J moves by the character. The small moves by the word. So 99 times out of 100, you're going to want to move by the word. Okay? You're going through that document. You're just boom, 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 boom. You know, when you're editing, you're just going through there quick. So you're not moving character by character. No. You want to move word because you're going that, you should be going that quick. Okay? So that's why they do it, and not by character. Okay? This is actually pretty cool. This one is really good. You're going to want to write this one down. Alt-S is spell check. So check it out. So say you come up here to similar. Do Alt-S, Alt-S. Sometimes you have to do it twice. I don't know why. But Alt-S, and if it doesn't come up, then do Alt-S. Now look at the thing that it brings up. It brings up this little box. So it gives you different variations of this word. Okay? It's like, well, is it similar or is it smiler? Well, I don't know. What is smiler? So you can come down here and say, well, I don't know. Push smiler, push definition. That'll give you the definition of smiler. So you can spell check, you can check words, you can check definitions of the words. It's pretty cool. It's way cool. But there's all kinds of things that you can do. It's like, say you're on similar, okay? And it was supposed to be similar, okay? No big deal. Oh, it's similar, okay. Let's press on that, change it, changes it to similar. See what it did? Yes.
Yes.
No.
Mine's, we're
Huh?
supposed to do
Alt S,
Alt S.
and you may need to do it twice. So put Alt S and then put that little 2 for the square, because you may need to do it twice. And I don't know why that is. You know, and it does it on my version too. Okay?
That's for spell check stuff.
So that's way cool, guys. Way cool. Okay? But like I was telling you, especially on Tuesdays when you're taking your test, 1, go through it carefully. 2, proofread it. 3, spell check it. Got it?
Got it.
The heck? All right, it's not up there. But usually there's an icon up here that has spell check. Thank you. I'll get them. Smack her when she comes back here. Okay. Well, let's just say, you know what? I need to spell check that document. Okay. How do you go to page 1?
Control G.
Alt G. Okay. So go Alt G, 1, enter. Takes you to the top of the document. Now to do spell check, you're going to do Control Shift S. Or not.
Alt. No, Shift Alt.
Alt Shift S. Sorry about that. Shift Alt, Alt Shift S. Whichever one. So now it's going to go through there and start spell checking your document. So now it's going to come here and it's going to say, well, it has LFT. Is that correct? Did you mean to leave it? You know? Yes. Then you can ignore it, or you can ignore all. Be careful with that. Okay, because sometimes they'll say,
Don't freak out.
yeah, freak out. Where they say that. It was that changed the mood of the room. Okay? It was that changed the mood of the room. You got it? So now it has that. Well, when you put 2 words together, it's always going to stop on it. Guys, read the sentence before you do anything with it. Okay? Don't just automatically delete it. Make sure that it makes sense. It was that changed. Oh, it is correct. Ignore. Because if you ignore all, now the next time it has that, and you messed up, it's going to go straight through it because you told it to ignore all on that every time. Okay? So be careful when you're doing that. Or when it has you. It was you. You saw him. It was you. You saw him. Okay? Well, it has you. There should have, probably been a comma in there or whatever. You didn't have time to put the comma, but you spell checked it. Oh, you know what? It's correct, but I need to put a comma in there, whatever. But you don't want to ignore all, because maybe you put you in there somewhere else. Now it's going to just skip over it. So be careful when you use that, okay? But you can do a lot of things. You can change, you know, like every time I put the LFT, let's say it was Krzyzewski. And it's like, oh, you know what, I'll catch it in the spell check. I can almost promise you Krzyzewski is not going to be in your dictionary, okay? So you do the spell check. Yeah. Awesome. Krzyzewski is not going to be in your dictionary, so it's going to come up. So every time the Krzyzewski is in there, all you have to do is a spell check, and then you just change it. You know what? Krzyzewski came up. I want to change it. What do you want to change it to? You put it right here in the replace. It's going to erase that. Put a prompt. What do you change it to? Oh, I want it to KRYCZ whatever instead of ZECH or whatever. You see what I'm saying? So you can change it. You can change all. You can add stuff to your dictionary. I just did it today. I got my computer stolen about a month ago. Be careful. I got it stolen. So all of the stuff that was in there, luckily I had backed up, but not as far as I needed to, and there was some stuff in there that I needed. That I had just put in there that I just needed. I had changed some stuff, some briefs. They weren't in there anymore, so now I have to put them back all in there again. The ones that I had just put in there. If you back up, it's not that bad. I didn't for what I needed to. Yes, sir.
Question. So they store your computer, obviously, you had all your briefs and phrases and dictionary, you don't all have that. However, you still have your machine. Can you send information from the machine, which has your dictionary, that is the same?
If you back up your machine, if you load your machine quite often. So like my machine, you can load your dictionary onto your machine. Well, there is a way to change it back to, but I hadn't kept up with my dictionary on my machine. Because I either use my computer or whatever, so I really don't care what it says on the machine. You know? I mean, looking back now in hindsight, yeah, I wish I would have. And I wish I would have backed up. You know, you should probably do it every couple of months, you know, or whatever, and not a year or whatever, okay? So be careful with that. But, I mean, there were things that were coming up, like the name Sarah, S-A-R-A-H. It didn't know it. What, Sarah? Okay. So I had to add it, you know, and just stuff like that. Stuff that was coming up that I knew that was already in my dictionary. David, you know, I did a spell check going through my thing, and on my certificate page, it has my name on there. It didn't even know David or Zarate. So I had to put both of them in there. So, you know, it's little stuff like that. But you can just add it in there. Or you can delete it, you can define it, global it, pause it, nothing, cancel, okay? So there's so many things that you can do with this spell check, okay? Any questions about that? Awesome. Okay, we already know that alto is what? Print. Output, print, okay? The control L, guys, was what? When would you use that? If what? Somebody said it. When you're in find. When you find a word and you go to the next one and you want to find the next time that you use that word, that's the control L. Okay? For locate. I think. X what? Marks a spot. F10 moves you to the menu bar. Okay, any questions about movements? Any questions about anything we covered?
Nope.
Guys, we've covered a lot of stuff. Okay? For God's sakes, use it. Okay? Between now, tomorrow, and then by next Wednesday. Okay? Use that sheet. Use it. Read it. Read it. Because, you know, if you go in there and read it, you know, it tells you up at the top that the Alt 1 is okay, Alt 2 is all right, Alt 3 is you know, and Alt 4 is uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Huh? That's the positive. Uh-huh. Uh-uh. They don't have. Okay? But go through there and look at that stuff and use it. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Something else we need to talk about. We won't have class next Thursday. Okay? That's my retreat. So I leave next Thursday. So after that, it's going to be every Wednesday, Thursday. I'm not missing then. Okay?
So where do we meet up for the retreat?
At the bar.
Really?
Really? Okay? Guys, it doesn't mean free day. Mrs. Woodard and Nathan are giving that class. 40-60 class. So I'm going to let her know that I'm going to be gone. I already did, but I'm going to let her know again that I'm going to be gone. Okay, so we're not going to have Eclipse class next Thursday. We will have it next Wednesday, but next Thursday we will not. Okay? So don't get that confused. We still have class on Tuesday and Wednesday. Okay? And we will be here tomorrow. Got it? But I just wanted to give you a little heads up so that you know and prepare. Yes, sir.
Were you going to use this classroom following Thursday instead of being crammed over there?
She may. And I'll tell her. I mean, it'll be easier to be here because, I mean, there's more room than over there. So I'll let her know. Any questions?
No
That's
Eclipse
next
class,
week,
but show up for dictation.
No Eclipse class next Thursday, but show up for dictation. Guys, you're going to get counted absent. So it's not a free day. It's just a different day. Different day, we ain't doing Eclipse, okay? But after that, it's gonna be every Wednesday, Thursday after that. Okay? Any questions?
No.
Okay, we'll see you tomorrow.